Hi there! In this video, I'll show you how you can use AI in DivHunt and create website like this one, where I have a homepage about us and a contact page with a working contact form, and we created everything with AI without any manual work, and everything is fully working and everything is fully responsive on mobiles, and contact form is working. We did this in less than 10 minutes, so let's get into the builder and let me show you. Okay, we are going to start completely from scratch. Here I'm going to create a new project, and I have some fake data that ChatGPT generated for me, so I will use that to generate our website. So let's click here, create a project. Let's start from scratch. And now when our project is created, let's go straight to the builder here on top right. Here you will get a blank screen, and because of that you will see in bottom right corner here, start your website with AI. In order to use this feature, you need to have DivHunt credits or you need to connect your own API key. You can do that here. If you go to the AI dashboard, you can either get a plan in DivHunt or you can connect one of your API keys. After you do that, we can go back to the builder. We can click here, start with AI, and then we are going to choose start fresh. But before I do that, I want to talk about this model. For starting a website, I strongly suggest using higher tier models, so they create a good structure first. So you pay a bit more tokens at start to set up a full structure, style guide and a homepage, and then after you have a style guide and a homepage, for new pages and other stuff you can use a bit lower tier models. So for this case, I will use Opus 5 as our starting point, and I'm going to click Start Fresh. Here we have a couple of questions that we need to answer for AI to have a complete sense what our website is about. So I'll just copy paste what AI already gave me that we are creating for fake website. Let's click Write My Brief. And here's a preview and summary of our brief that is going to be saved for future work with AI. So agents will have this saved as a MD file in backend. So let's click looks good. Now AI suggested some colors for our website. And if you don't like any of these colors, you can click here, show me 3 more. And we are going to choose what we like the most. If you still don't like any of these colors, you can here type the prompt, what you don't like and stuff like that. So for start, I think I like this one, orange one, or maybe I think blue is nice. Let's use blue one. Now we need to choose fonts for our website. We have a different font for titles and different font for general text such as paragraphs. I think this one looks pretty good, so I will choose that one. And here's our style guide. Now we can do some more things, like if you like buttons to be sharp, soft, or completely round. I like maybe soft. I will use balanced spacing. And about title, I think this is nice. Okay, let's build my style guide. Now this will be your style guide with the colors, with the buttons, and this is the button that is going to be on dark mode. If section is dark or this blue background or orange, I don't know, it is going to use white button. So let's click continue. And now it is going to generate idea on how your homepage should look like. It's going to create a plan for your homepage. And here it is. So AI suggested like a couple of sections for your homepage. And now you can take over and tell him, I don't want to do that. You can tell him what to change. Or in my case, I will just trust him and I will click build my homepage with AI. So now what happened? AI opened our AI Studio. AI Studio in DivHunt is used to create new things, new sections and new full pages. So you can see here, let's create a section and let's create a full page. You will later use AI Studio to create new pages. In this video, we are going to create About Us page. So for start, let's just trust everything that AI did here. So it gave him a full description what this page should be about. On the right side, we have like rules, the files, brief MD that we created. We have a reference page. Later, when we are going to create About Us page, we should put homepage as a reference so AI can take styles from the homepage and reuse it on the About Us page. Since this is an empty project, we don't need a reference page here. Everything else you can leave as default. So let's click Generate. Now AI Studio did its own research and created a more detailed plan on how your page should look like, in exactly how should it build and so on. So you can read this and you can prompt him back here if you want to change something, if you don't like something, if you want slider somewhere, but he wants grid and so on. I will not touch anything, I will just continue by building. Now AI on the left will tell you that it needs about 6 minutes to create all 9 sections. And here you see the progress. Currently, it's creating a navigation, and on the right side, it will drop section by section while it is creating. Okay, and this is what it created. So slider is not working now because this is a preview, but when I click here, use sections, everything is going to work perfectly. So let's click use all sections. And now it is going to tell you that we don't have some plugins that AI used here. So we can just click yes, I understand, and then we will install them in a next screen. So let's here we have also a prompt that it will create a components. I will explain you what components are in a second. So let's click also continue. And now website is here. First thing on top right here, we can just click install all the plugins that are missing for this to work perfectly. So let's do that first. Now when that is installed, let's see if our slider works here. So let's click this button, and as you can see, everything is working. Everything is perfect. We can check also the mobile version. So let's click here, the mobile. Everything is looking great. We have a hamburger menu here and so on. One thing about DivHunt now is that you have a full control to edit anything manually. For example, this button doesn't look nice for me. I think here we need a primary button. So I will remove this class and I will just put class button primary. And now it looks much better in my opinion. And this is a complete homepage fully working, and I will show you that it works also on a live page. So let's open it here, and I will go to the mobile to show you the hamburger menu. So let's switch to iPhone. You can see that hamburger menu is working, everything is looking really nice. And we also have this slider that is working perfectly. If I scroll all the way down, there's no mistakes. So let's go back to the builder and let me explain you the components. Why components are really important. If you are building a website that has more than one page, you don't want to have a duplicated navbar across pages. That would be bad because if you edit it on one place, it would be edited only there. Now, if I use this navbar, which is a green component, and use it on new pages, if I edit it once, it is going to be edited on all of my pages. Same goes for the footer and any other components that we are going to reuse on our website. So if I reuse this one and I edit, for example, this text here to be bold or something, it is going to be applied to all of our cards. So that's one a really important thing to know about building a website. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create a new page and I'm going to create it and I'm going to name it About Us. So let's create it. And here we get a blank screen again. First thing you need to do is let's add two components, one for navbar and one for footer. This we are going to do manually. So let's click here navbar and footer. And click on this in the layers, click this layer like navbar, and in the settings panel here, turn off instance mode for navbars. This means that if I edit this component here, no matter what I edit, like a text or a link or anything, it is going to edit it everywhere else. Same for the footer. I want footer to be like no instance, and I will explain you in a second what instance means. If I go to the home page now, What is instance component? This is example of instance component. It's same component. If I change styles here, so let's add something like this margin, it is going to apply that change everywhere because it's styling. Styling is the same for all instance component, but if I change, for example, this image here or this text, for example, let's write something, it is going to change it only there, not on other components. That's instance mode. And for the navbar and footer, you don't want instance mode. That's why we turned it off. So let's go back now to our About Us page. And what we are going to do, we are going to create a new div inside here. We are going to name this div like a page wrapper, just for better organization. Then when this page wrapper is selected, I will again go to build with AI here, and I will tell him, let's create a full page, and I will use lower tier model as I said at start. So we used Opus 5 to create a first page startup like a style guide and a home page, and now we are free to use a bit lower price model such as Sonnet 5, and I will tell him like create me About Us page. On the right side now we want reference page, so we are going to give it as much as context as we want. So I will give him as context 5 sections from the homepage to do the best works. Down below it has classes, so it will reuse all of our classes, and we can also give him some components. In our case, we already added navbar and footer manually, and I don't need to give him any of these components. I want him to create everything new. Okay, let's just click generate. Now AI suggested a plan, so it wants to create introduction section, philosophy and numbers, and it wants to create a theme grid. So let's go with that. And this is it. This is what it created. Here again, put a transparent button. I don't know why it is forcing transparent button, but we will simply just change a button to be a primary blue button later in the builder. This section is nice. This text is barely visible, but also I will change it visually. It's faster for me to change this to white than telling AI to change it. And down below we have a theme section. So everything looks nice. So let's click use all section. And this is it. So what we wanted to change. Okay, in the builder actually this looks nice. Just we need to switch a button. So let's go again the same thing that we did before. Put button primary there. Now we can go and edit our content, like I can go switch images, I can switch content, I can change this image here simply, and so on. Now one thing I want to show you is how to create a contact page with contact form. It will take you less than 2 minutes, and you can create any form you want with most advanced like multi-steps and so on. You can use AI to build that, and it's really simple. Let me show you. So let's go to the new page. Let's create a contact page, empty. Repeat the same thing we did for About Us. So here we add a navbar and footer as components. And we do the same thing for instance mode for these two. And now we are ready inside to create like we need to one div inside of the container. Here I will add some padding. I will show you later why I did that. And here we are going to have a form, but above form I want to have, for example, heading 1 and paragraph. So this is going to say maybe contact us, and this you can write whatever you want, but I will just leave it like placeholder for now. And down below, inside of this div that I just going to create, and I will put a margin on top, I will add a contact form after I create it with AI. So how do we create it? Let's go here to the forms. Let's create a new form. Let's just name it contact us. And now let's go to the widget builder. And now you can build form manually. You can add new fields. We have a lot of things here. When you click on specific field, you can edit it on the right side. But I will just use AI to create our form. I will just open it here. Tell him create me a simple contact form. And that's it. We just wait for the result, and we then embed it on our page. So this is what AI is going to create. It already tried to add a heading and an intro paragraph, but we already did that manually inside of the builder, so we don't need it. We need only these fields. So let's apply selected, and this is the form that it created. This is just like backend settings. So if I click on this, you have placeholders here, you have validation, you have conditional visibility and so on. You can play around with this. I will just save and I will go to the builder. And now inside of this empty div that we created previously, I will just find this form widget here. Let's embed it. And here we have form widget. Go to the settings and just attach contact us there. And then we would need to center this one as well. So let's do that one centered. And there you go. This might be nicer. And one thing I don't like is this button. And to change that button, you need to write custom CSS, which is shown inside of the specific video for this type of forms. And to show you that this form works, let's open the page. Let's submit some data. Let's do something random, send inquiry, and form is successfully submitted. Now let's go to the forms, our contact form, and in submissions, you will see that my submission went through. Lastly, you want to connect these pages to be connected with each other. For example, a logo needs to lead to homepage. This needs to go to the contact page, and some of these items will go to the about us. So let's click on logo, which is a link. Let's go to the settings. Here, a link homepage. Click on this button, inquiry, and find your contact page. And let's name these services to actually be about us and link that one to about us. Now, if I open the website, if I click about us, it will open the about us page. If I click the logo, it will open a home page. So you get a full website in under 20 minutes. All you need to do now is to change the content images and keep building.